I want to bring you back to our top story as the president-elect continues to fill out positions in his incoming administration. His latest round of picks for positions have been met with some mixed reaction, particularly his selection of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for Health and Human Services Secretary. Kennedy has been an outspoken vaccine skeptic and has called for the removal of fluoride from drinking water, among other conspiracy theories. He has vowed to combat what he calls an epidemic of chronic diseases that he believes are brought on by large food and drug companies. For more on the transition, I want to bring in CBS News political director Fin Gómez. All right, Fin, there's not any surprise that there is this controversy surrounding any of these picks. But is there a strategy here? Some of these choices seem to be gaslighting choices, actually setting up who may ultimately fill those positions. In other words, you can put up some candidates that you know will not get the go-ahead from the United States Senate. Those senators can say, hey, look, I'm actually putting my morals or my commitment to the American people ahead of my loyalty to the president by, not confirming Matt Gaetz and then confirming who the president actually wants to be in that position.
Yeah, Vlad, absolutely. I think there's a couple things here, Vlad, I think we should stress. And one is that, President-elect Trump campaigned and has become and is intending to become the disruptor in chief, not just the chief of the executive branch, of course. With some of these picks, he feels he has a mandate to disrupt sort of the status quo Washington. Also, like you mentioned, I think some of these picks are intended to be sort of a political flashbang grenade, if you will, to draw attention away from some of his other picks where he believes he has a better chance of succeeding with. But overall, this is also a loyalty test, Vlad, for some of those in the Senate. As you know, with the Senate, it is supposed to be an independent body separate from the executive branch. And I think with the election of John Thune as the majority leader in the incoming Congress, I think the Senate Republicans showed that sense of independence from President-elect Trump. But again, some of his MAGA allies have said, hey, if you vote against these picks, we'll remember this. And when you're up again, either in 2 years or 6 years or whatever it may be, we will challenge you.
All right. So without control of either chamber of Congress, Fin, Democrats essentially have no power. But does this strengthen moderate Republicans, similar to the way we saw with Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema when the Dems controlled the Senate?
I think it has that potential, Vlad, absolutely. Not just centrist Republicans, but also centrist Democrats also. I think there's some, again, with some of these senators, I think you can look at some of these Republicans who've been critical of Donald Trump in previous iterations, previous cycles. Even John Thune himself was very critical of the president-elect following January 6, 2021. But also looking on the Democratic side, like if you look at Ruben Gallego, who just won that very hotly contested race in Arizona, a battleground state, as you know. But he is someone with a blue-collar, working-class background, a Latino male. And as you know, Vlad, that is a voting group that Democrats and Vice President Harris struggled with during the November 5th election. And that's something that right now, as Democrats are trying to have like a lessons learned type of mentality now in this stage, post-election, I think that's where they're looking to make inroads. But overall, yes, I think the centrists in the Senate will especially hold and could hold a lot of power in this upcoming Congress.
All right, Fin, we'll be watching. Thank you very much, my friend. Have a nice weekend.
You too, Vlad.